From the Schmoes No Network Studios in Mos Eisley, Cantina, Tatooine, it's Jedi Alliance. And now, here's your host, Master Kenobi Ken Hapsuck, and the young Padawan, Maude Sick Garrett.
Hello, Schmoville. Yes, I've got the Snotsvilles happening up my nose, but you know what? I find my abundance of faith promising.
This
It's
brings
gonna be
you...
a weird episode.
The snot-infested Maude brings you one step closer to your favorite character of all time, Neenum. You were very similar to him now. He's kind of a...
Take it back.
How dare you, sir?
How dare you, ma'am?
Throwdown happening. We've got another amazing episode. We are up to episode 13 of Jedi Alliance, which is pretty cool. Not only do we have an awesome guest on today, but Duel the Fates. We're going to figure out which one was better, Ken's Adobe or the Dagobah hut that Yoda has. And we've got a brand new Forced On, and it's all about having a good laugh. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget, iTunes is being a little bitch, so make sure you rate and subscribe and review, because I don't know, is it even working?
We have been told that iTunes has been fixed, or the issue's been fixed, but if you're having issues, just resubscribe. Maybe cancel out, resubscribe, and then re-comment and re-review, if you will. But we were kind of disappeared from the charts because of this snafu, but we're climbing back up the charts with a bullet.
We need to redominate, guys. We must band together as an alliance and do this. Alternatively, if it's still having problems, jump onto the YouTube page, just search Jedi Alliance. We are on the Schmoes No podcast side of things there. Give that a like if you found it appeasing, and we do read all the comments and get back to you, which is pretty cool.
I have a lot of lonely nights to sit and read our Facebook and YouTube comments, and I do, so.
I've got plenty of tissues. That's how, you know what? Because I'm a girl, I can say that I have a lot of tissues around my bed.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah.
Because it's from my...
Can you?
Okay, hey, let's introduce our special guest of the day. If you have seen our Twitter or our Facebook page, just search Jedi Alliance on both of those and give it a follow and a like. You would have seen this beauty dressed up as Han Solo, looking just delightful. And I say that to all the guys with the tissues around their beds. What? That's disgusting. She is a writer, producer, actress, and geek nerd extraordinaire. She's joining us today. Her name is Michele Boyd. Give it up for Michele, everyone.
Applause everywhere.
Hello, darling.
Hi, gorgeous.
How are you?
Fabulous.
A lot better than me, that's for sure.
I'm sticking over on this side of the desk for a reason.
Yeah, for a reason. She's got some preemptive tea going.
I do.
My sneeze could still make that. I'm telling you.
I've seen it happen.
That's gross. Well, what we do with every single guest we have on the show is ask them the top 5 Star Wars questions that we ask absolutely everyone here, including you guys. So if you haven't answered them yet, that's what our Facebook page is for.
Yeah, this is to, we know you're a Star Wars fan, but this is to get to know you,
Can you show
as a Star
everyone
Wars fan.
your t-shirt as well?
Oh, yeah.
This is all kinds of awesome. For those that are only listening, it's like an 80s retro laser beam looking Han Solo
Han
t-shirt.
Solo with the love of everyone's life right here.
I mean, honestly, the 80s is just having the most excitable moment.
This is like Lisa Frank and Star Wars in one. It made me very happy.
It looks like when I would get my pictures taken in elementary school in the early 80s and I'd choose the laser
Lasers,
option
yes.
behind. Yeah.
I think there's an app that will do this now that will add all the little stars and sparkliness to any photo.
Always an app.
There's an app for that.
He looks like he's actually like a famous actor now in Coruscant. And like that's his apparel. That's his merchandise.
headshot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his headshot?
Yeah.
You want to buy a headshot? Yeah, like that's it. That's the guy.
You don't want to sell me a headshot. Your t-shirt's pretty cool though. Before we get stuck in.
Yeah. It's a little play on Drive. It's another ripped apparel special. Little Boba Fett hunt.
Still with the nice pink 80s kind of hue.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Speaking up, look
And you've
at
got
you.
little.
We did not call each other.
That's
We're doing the.
Here
Yeah, there
we
it
go. I've
is.
just got to watch because you know my girls they get a little bit out of control.
That's why you got to cut it down. Even this, I had to cut it down a little bit. I'm still swimming a little bit in it, but you can't find that many cute girl shirts for Star Wars.
But yet we are all wearing them, so thumbs up for everyone. Alrighty, kicking off the Star Wars question that we are asking you. Michele Boyd, can you please tell us about your first time watching Star Wars?
There were lots of tissues around the bed. No, I actually, when the first 3 movies came out, I was too little to watch them in theaters. So I don't remember a time when I didn't know what Star Wars was. Because I'm pretty sure my parents just threw it on at a sleepover one night when they deemed I was ready. But I can't can't remember the first time actually watching all of them, except that I did not get to see Return of the Jedi until it came back into theaters.
When they digitally remastered them.
97, huh?
Yes, yeah. So I didn't get to see the third movie until that happened. But I remember just really, really liking the first movie and Empire Strikes Back, and then being really excited that Return of the Jedi was coming out.
That's kind of cool though to get to experience it. Like I said, you're probably in that tween generation where I got to see it in theater, but you didn't see it at all in the first run. So
No, I was the same. I watched Return of the Jedi.
in the first run, but
Oh, yeah. No,
to
that was
actually
VHS
go and
only.
see Jedi for the
Yeah.
first time in the theater, that'd be cool.
It was really cool. I was,
Small screen to big.
well, I was part of that group that was so excited for episode 1, 2, and 3, and you camped out and you watched. I did not get to see it at midnight because I didn't have a week to spare to camp out ahead of time, but I did get to see it the very next day that it came out, and everyone sort of walked out in shame and horror and what the hell did we just watch?
See, I was so excited about the CGI in it and like the pod racer. Like I thought that was really cool. And then you watch the old ones again and you're like, they are so different.
And we get a lot of, it's an interesting debate on our YouTube comments and Facebook as well, where a lot of people, we have a lot of younger fans, but it's not just about generational thing. A lot of people jumping on the prequel defense line.
Yeah.
That was bound to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved Ewoks when they were in Return of the Jedi, and I understand people hated them when that movie came out. They're like, what's up with the teddy bears? Yes.
You hated the Ewoks?
I didn't hate the, whoa.
Hold on, everyone watching this on YouTube, do a little bit of a rewind because you would see in slow motion his eye roll that I witnessed.
You felt about the Ewoks like we felt about Jar Jar? Is that the case?
No, not so much. I was 7 when Jedi came out in the theater, so I loved it. It was a couple years later when I'm like, I think I can see their zippers. Like, those
Don't
look like,
destroy the magic.
that looks like slippers on the bottom of Wicked's feet. But I still love them. As you'll see in today's In Memory, I love the Ewoks.
That's true.
So
Didn't realize until much later they were cannibals.
right.
I had no idea. I thought they were cute.
They were gonna cook Han.
I thought my teddy bear was an Ewok. I just that was my connection to it.
David Lynch was possibly going to direct Jedi. If he had maybe done that and carried out his
They would
vision,
have sharp teeth.
Han would have died right there in the spit.
Absolutely.
They would have just cooked and ate him.
Yeah.
Good point.
Can I see that version? I really want to see that version.
That's a fan edit I will watch.
Yes.
That's like some warped fan fiction as
Yeah.
well.
I did not get
Clean
to
it
see
up.
that the edit. Who did that? Tobey Maguire or Shia LaBeouf or somebody?
Tobey Maguire, I
Tobey
think, did
Maguire
an
did
edit.
it. I didn't get to see it before it got pulled down.
Yeah.
I will find it someday.
There's those edits out there. Of all the movies, which one is your favorite?
Empire.
She's an Empire girl.
Empire girl.
You got a Jedi girl
too.
over here.
Return of the Jedi? Really? You
Yeah.
just like the happy ending.
Once again, Jedi Alliance brought to you by a box full of tissues.
I had nothing. Come on. Make it too easy. I loved the way that it finished on a happy note. No,
Yeah.
okay. Damn it. Moving on. What's your favorite character out of all the Star Wars characters? Your favorite?
Here's the weird thing. Can I say Ahsoka Tano? I
Yeah,
know
absolutely.
she's not technically one of the main characters, and she's I guess technically expanded universe
any
spinoff. I don't know,
character.
however you want to say it, but I actually really like her because I loved what they did in Clone Wars. I love that I got to see Anakin without hating him.
Yeah.
I got to actually see him be a general, and I got to see him relate to a younger Padawan that you didn't get to see that done in the real movie. So I really liked where she came from. So I always really liked her as a character.
I think that's a great answer. That kind of excites me. Get a box of tissue. Make a joke. No, because we've talked about it here. My problem so far with Rebels. 2-3 episodes in, as Ezra Bridger as a main character, I'm not connecting with. I'm not rooting with. Ahsoka, snips at the beginning. There were some issues. She was kind of a little precocious, but that character's development was very interesting, and where it ended, very exciting.
I have not
you
seen
haven't
the
seen
end.
the ending.
Oh, I won't. I won't Kermit the Frog spoiler on you.
Thank you.
All right, but no, I love that. It's a great, perfect answer. It's a great character, and I hope they continue. I hope it comes back in some way.
I hope they continue to keep that idea of a strong kind of female character, but also like gets to be part of the audience, and just kind of brings you into it as a female. That was cool because I couldn't get behind Padme. In the first movies,
Okay.
it may not even necessarily be the characters so much fault. I just couldn't really get Natalie Portman's portrayal of her as much.
Right.
Leia, obviously. she's my girl.
So have you watched Rebels yet? Because there's 2 strong
Haven't.
female. Okay, I think you'd really like it.
And I remember being excited because I was a bounty hunter, right?
Yeah, Sabine.
Sabine.
Yeah.
And Hera.
Yes, I remember being
Twilight.
excited about Sabine. I have not been able to watch Rebels yet.
You would love Sabine.
Just starting
Yeah.
out.
I'm telling you right now. Got money on it.
Next
So-
year cosplay.
Seriously. So out of all the force powers out there, good, bad, Sith, Jedi, whatever you'd like to call it, what force power, say your words, what force power would you like to have?
I would like to have the power to change someone's mind.
Same.
Yes.
Yes.
Because then you could just be like, this is not the parking ticket you're looking for. This,
Yeah.
you would never, ever get into trouble ever again. You could walk your way out of anything.
That's true.
I love that.
You know what, though? I think Ken's favorite mind trick is also the Jedi mind trick.
Mine is also the Jedi mind trick.
That's lovely.
I'm still choking.
Just every time.
That
You would
wouldn't
just
get
giggle
old.
every time.
Yeah.
I love when I'm the meat and the Maude, Fred, and sandwich. Those are my favorite episodes when we bring on your pals.
Hey, you will enjoy this.
I enjoy it very much. Star Wars is known, of course, for quotes. We all have our favorite quotes. I can't shake them, that kind of stuff. What is your favorite quote that you use in daily life as much as possible?
I have a bad feeling about this.
Nice.
Can't go wrong with that one.
No. Applicable to so many situations.
So many situations.
So many.
I think that almost if you're watching the movies, because I saw the prequels again not so long ago and I'm getting back to the originals again, you could have you finish your drink every time they say, I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan does it.
It became a
It's such a
running
big thing.
joke. Yeah, it became a running joke.
I'm pretty
actually.
sure it was in Rebels as well.
But I still laughed about it that in episode 1, the first time that Obi-Wan says it, still made me laugh. Because he was like, oh, they called back. I get tickled by callbacks, so I'm happy.
But it happened a couple of times in...
Oh yeah, it happened a couple times.
Clone
The
Wars.
first time, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, they say it numerous times in each movie.
Yeah.
It's like a mandate. Lucasfilm mandate.
You must.
It's like, ding!
Yeah, you must say it.
I got a bad feeling about this. Cool. Well, the last question that we asked, because we've gone through all of them now, would you... Ken, you have to do it.
Would you turn to the dark side of the Force?
Ooh, well done. Well, now I'm going to. Of course, they have cookies.
That is a smart answer.
Have you seen the cosplay of the Stormtrooper, but it's got Cookie Monster's head?
No!
And he's holding a sign saying, dark side lied, no cookies. And he's a Stormtrooper.
That's amazing.
Oh, I love that one.
The closest I've seen was there was Darth Vader. I forget what con I was at, but I saw Darth Vader and he was just carrying around Toll House cookies. Like
yeah.
he just had the box of cookies with him, and like half the people got it.
The smart ones.
It's fun.
I love the kind of cosplays where like everyone's just walking past and this one person's like, yeah.
Yes.
I had that with New York Comic Con. It has nothing to do with Star Wars, but bear with me. It was a guy who was literally wearing underpants and like the suit from the top up, and he was carrying a basket full of buns and a sign that went, oh no, don't start the story that you can't finish. Something like,
Don't be that guy at the bar.
Anaconda, are you ready or something? Because it's like, my anaconda don't want
Well,
none unless you got buns,
oh my
hun. So he's got the
God.
buns. Yeah, I thought that was,
the
again, everyone
dots.
walking past, and I was like, hey. Got a photo, and then
And
everyone kind of surrounded going,
And that was worth it. For that person, that was worth it. One person gives the That was my entire stand-up career. If I had one audience member go, that's why I had to retire.
Success.
Yeah, that's why I ended it.
That's what you live for, though.
Those are the 5 most important questions. We got to know you as a fan, and I love those answers. Great stuff, and we will gladly welcome you on the dark side of the Force. But now we move on to Renewed Hope, which is our segment about Star Wars news. And this week in Star Wars news with our very own Queen Amidala.
Thank you, Master Kenobi. I must thank everyone on the Facebook page who helped out because it's been a slow news week at Star Wars.
One of those.
And I had 2 stories, but the last one was something that I did not know, and I feel like I've been rewarded. So I will not let my people suffer any longer. Number 1, new dates for have been announced for the latest Star Wars books. Now, we have been talking about the books quite a bit. Have you got A New Dawn, or are you planning on reading it?
I want to read them. The only experience I've ever had, like, I know who Jason and Jaina Solo are, and that's it.
Right.
As far as, like, expanded universe books. But that I haven't read any of them yet.
Good news for you, Disney wiped all of that. Hey!
I know. And
Yeah.
we'll never, they don't exist. It's great. It's cool.
Give New Dawn a read if you're having trouble sleeping.
Or if you want to really kind
Rousing endorsement.
Yeah. or if you really want to kind of get into Star Wars Rebels, knowing the background of two of the main characters.
Yeah,
So
I do say it's must read. It's the first canon book that has come out.
So Rebels derives from books in part?
It's the backstory, so to speak. 6 years before the start of Rebels.
Okay.
So.
But if you don't want to do that one, there are 2 new books coming out, but the dates of them have been changed. So if you're a diehard fan and you've already put these dates in your calendar, get it back out because I've got new ones for you. So Heir to the Jedi by Kevin Hearn. Hearn. If I keep saying it, you'll tell me the correct answer.
Okay.
Kevin Hearn. There it is. Here's one I prepared earlier. That's now going to be out on the 3rd of March 2015. And Lords of the Sith by Paul S. Kemp is now going to be out on the 28th of April next year. This has been pushed back a little bit because they are doing another kind of very, very thorough edit check on them.
Gotcha.
Maybe this has something to do with the feedback of A New Dawn?
Well, maybe. Or they just want to get things right.
Okay, fair enough.
You know?
If neither of those two are on your horizon because you are completely blindsided by Tarkin, which is pretty cool because if you have read A New Dawn, you've read the first chapter of that. There's actually a cool audio excerpt up right now at starwars.com where you can hear the, I don't think they've announced who's doing it. I did a bit of research and I couldn't find the name, so that's
voice.
Apparently irrelevant now. But you've got the guy reading it, and it's a really cool voice. And a lot of people, especially Christian, Darth Harloff, was saying he prefers to listen to audiobooks with these because they add in sound effects, and it's like got the blaster noises.
I'm also not convinced it's because maybe he can't read, but that could be. I don't know the truth there.
See, I read too fast. These guys are like, a long time ago. I'm like, I'm already 3 pages in. Like, come on here.
Me too.
So yeah, jump on if you want to hear the excerpt of that one and get excited about Tarkin, because I am more excited about this one. I just love reading about characters that we already know. I think, you know, being introduced to new
delicate
characters.
balance. You got to introduce some new blood, but New Dawn really introduced them and didn't give us any of the old favorites. Didn't tie it in.
Back.
But, you know, now, you didn't read Darth Plagueis, right? James Luceno's now famous book in Schmoville. Darth Plagueis Harloff's favorite book. It's great. It actually makes Phantom Menace kind of interesting.
Okay.
It runs before that and even through that. So I'm excited to see what Luceno does.
But Darth Plagueis is worth a read so you can get to know the character of the Emperor. So Palpatine, it's all of his.
Yeah, because because the book is actually about the one that brought him over, right?
So Plagueis is the master of Palpatine, who's the Padawan.
Sidious and okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or apprentice.
Interesting.
However you want to refer to it. It's a great book, but I like that they're spreading these out because I need some time to read all the other books. You got the Game of Thrones Encyclopedia coming out in November. I got to read all those too.
This is like 6 months' time. We're going to have 3 books.
It's
like
crazy.
that's pretty full on.
By April, we'll have 4 canon books. We'll be taking up space on my already 14-year-old boy
It's
closet
almost as if they're
room.
like, leave us alone about Ep 7 already. Here, book, television series. Come on.
Just do anything else.
Yeah.
It's like Pat Rothfuss doing the extra like excerpt book instead of book 3 in the King Killer Chronicle. He's like, okay, I don't have it, but here's this thing about Ori. Read that instead.
And you know what? I will.
Totally.
So there you go. Actually, he's got his books coming out with George R.R. Martin's book, with Anne Rice's new book. It's
Wait,
like
they've
all in
set
the
an
same
actual release
week.
date, like a real release date.
Yes,
for
it's
real
all within the same week.
For actual.
I think
now.
so. Yeah,
because I don't believe these anymore at all.
That's true. Well, I mean, they just push them back.
I see them and I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'll wait.
Well, obviously, all avid readers here.
Yeah.
Go education in the.
Sick. I don't know. I just do audiobooks. I can't read.
Really?
No.
I was like, I have no idea if you're joking or not. Oh, second story. Can someone just say Benedict's last name for me? Because otherwise I'll say Benedict Cum on my tits and I feel really bad every time I do that because I can't say his name properly.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah, thank you. Cool. Benedict
Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch visits Star Wars Episode 7 set and confesses that he did so.
Jesus, that's a hot photo.
Isn't it? I know, I searched for them.
Good
and I was
God.
like, hello, beautiful.
Can we get some tissues in this room?
They're everywhere.
Good Lord.
So we have heard rumours that in the initial casting stages, he was the top of the list. You know, he got the phone call, I want to speak with you. JJ and him have worked together, obviously, on Star Trek. They've got a tight thing going. But then we didn't hear anything else again. Now he's recently appeared on the Graham Norton show and he's like, yeah, so I visited Ep 7, like, you know, I was on set there. Ooh. Oh, I think I've said too much. I don't think I should be talking about this. But they're like, what was it like? And he hung out in the Millennium Falcon.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm guessing he's a little bit of a fan, and he's just become a Marvel superhero, so he's in the Disney
Yes.
family. It makes sense.
Him along with Carl Urban are just gonna be
Yeah.
part of everything. They're like
Lucky?
the new Hugo Weaving. You're just every single major fan base thing that comes
'em.
out. It's like both of them are just in it forever.
But is he going to be in the movie? Don't know. Because we've had a lot of big actors that have been
Yeah.
spotted at the Pinewood Studios, like Daniel Craig and Daniel Radcliffe, who's also...
Tom Cruise.
Oh, Tom Cruise is on
Yeah.
there. That's right. They're going to make him some sort of Jedi Knight. So
Yeah.
don't.
Don't, please.
Don't.
Maybe you could be like Nathan Fillion's part in Guardians of the Galaxy, where you have no
No
idea,
idea.
until afterward. It's like, I did the voice, but it sort of counts.
Or Cruise in Young Guns. He was in the first Young Guns as a guy who gets shot. You didn't know it was him.
Oh, right.
He just showed up on set one day and, "Oh, can I wear a hat and gun?"
Yeah, cool.
who knows?
Just make Tom Cruise into like a Twi'lek or something. You know, put big old
Twi'lek, not Twi'lek.
Is it? Oh, I say Twi'lek. Is it Twi'lek?
We have an ongoing debate about a lot of things.
I
on this
say
show.
Twi'lek, but I've been wrong about a lot of things.
I said Twi'lek, and I think someone actually gave me the Wikipedia audio clip where it's Twi'lek.
Says who?
The internet.
Whom?
I'm
Oh, well, they're always right. So.
I'm AT-AT, and there's
At.
so there you go.
At.
But back onto Daniel Radcliffe, he said, I was so excited because I literally just watched Star Wars movies recently, and it was like, so I was like a new fan going on set. I got to meet Harrison Ford and have a chat. He was lovely. It was great. But most people would be excited about seeing the Star Wars set. He actually was more excited about seeing a lot of the crew that he worked with on Harry Potter. He goes, they all worked on Harry Potter for all those years.
Yeah.
They need a job. They're now all doing Star Wars. So it was great to see all, you know, and shoot the breeze with those guys. So he's not in the movie either, though. That is not.
No.
That's not a Jedi. Sweet. Story number 3. This is the one, and I have to thank Freddie and Spencer for enlightening me with this one on the Facebook page. Darth Vader is running for Parliament in the Ukraine. You heard me right. This is not a joke. Darth Alexeyevich Vader, whose real name is Victor
Shevchenko.
Thank you. He's running in full costume, and he's flanked by stormtroopers as a candidate for the internet party.
That's amazing.
This is so cool. He actually told press, he said, when I get to Parliament, I will expel all the deputies. They have proven their uselessness. Computers will work in their place, and they will fulfill their functions without cease. So he's also got a right-hand man within the candidate called Stephen Chewbacca.
Of course he does.
Just to make this even better. But he couldn't actually go into the voting area for the presidential ballot in May because he wouldn't take his helmet off.
Why should
no,
he?
of
Like,
course not.
Well, we're
You
not
can't
gonna
breathe.
Yeah, we're not gonna. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Get it?
That's a
it's
medical disability that they are.
He's got to be in that meditation, chamber.
Yeah.
General Veers has got to go in.
Exactly.
Stephen Chewbacca could have
General
been.
That
Veers.
is discrimination.
Prepare your vote, General Veers.
So they've actually had to take this into a serious debate, and they're saying he doesn't look likely to win. And I'm like, oh, but bless you guys. So there you go.
These are my people. I am Ukrainian of
Yeah.
most of my descent.
Well,
so
let's not forget that
this is the same people that just threw one of their politicians into a trash can because they didn't like him. They mobbed him and threw him in a dumpster. Now they've got Darth Vader running. So very
Teach me
good.
your ways.
Yes. Ukraine people, is strong country. Yes.
Darth Vader,
Yes,
you must lead
yes.
us to victory.
Sith be leading us for future.
Well, 170,000 plus people in the UK submitted on a census that they were a Jedi Knight. So
I had an employee working for me. I think we talked about this
Yeah.
off air. Who actually was like, I need a weekend off. I'm going to Jedi camp. It's like,
Yes.
that's funny. What do you? No, I'm going to learn to be a
I'm
Jedi.
going to need a week off.
Said, approved.
That's completely valid. There you go.
Approved.
So that's it for Renewed
Thank you.
Hope. There'll be more next week. And keep, if you see a cool story, shoot it to us on our Facebook page and I'll give you a shout out for mentioning it.
Yeah, absolutely. Or tweet us on Twitter at Jedi Alliance and tell us,
Okay.
hey, cover this story, kids. We'll do that for you. So we're going to Star Pause.
Okay. All right, so
You said- I wasn't going to forget.
Oh, God. What's happening?
this is where I have to pick a Trivial Pursuit Star Wars card
Oh, Jesus.
and the top one.
The top one?
Yeah.
And now
I'll
you
just
guys
shuffle
will be on the same team.
Oh, I'm
Shout
sorry.
out answers, kind of blink at
We
each
played
other.
trivia together. Remember how terrible I was?
I was awful.
I think I cried, maybe. I was like, I don't want to play anymore.
The current score is 50 to 41, so you've got to make up some ground here before
What?
the contest
Oh,
ends.
jeez.
I basically have to Yeah.
Oh.
I've
All
had
right.
to cut out your tongue.
You got 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes if I stumble like I did last week. So
yeah.
here we go.
Yeah.
Contestants on Star Pods. Who said, "From here you'll witness the final destruction of the Alliance"?
Well, the way that you say that, it sounds like it's the Emperor.
It does sound like the Emperor, but I'm wondering if that's a misleading
And
thing.
it was Tarkin because no. Tarkin was like, "Bitch, I'm going to prove a point to you and blow up your hometown."
That's a quote.
Yes, that's why I'm looking
From here.
forward
Can
to
you
reading
repeat the
Tarkin.
quote, please, sir?
Who said, "From here you'll witness the final destruction of the Alliance"?
It's the Emperor.
Yes, the answer.
Okay.
By the way, I like
like-
that you have no trust in me as a person. That you're like, you might play games on me.
Ah.
I know
see.
you were helping with the
Learn a lot
second
about
time when
it.
you
Well,
didn't do
really,
the
I just
accent. I
feel
knew that
like-
you didn't mean
Okay.
to.
It was I just feel any opportunity to use the Emperor voice should
Maybe.
be utilized. That's
Okay.
totally
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I do that at
Understandable.
work. What type of ground vehicle was shown pulling up to the Endor landing platform?
The Endor, that has to be a speeder, right? Because that's what they
speeder
stole.
bike?
What kind of
The
land?
question, I'm not
wait.
happy with the question, but they didn't phrase it right. What kind of ground or land-based vehicle was shown pulling up to the Endor landing platform?
Landing platform.
Mm-hmm.
So
But it says
vehicle as in a-
land-based, so it's not a ship. I mean, I would still go with speeder bike, but now I don't know.
Because that's what they stole from the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
But the Endor, which base?
The
Endor.
the landing platform. The Imperial landing platform.
Is it an ATST?
It's a good sound. That's an accurate
mean-
sound. You're losing time. You're going to
Oh,
need an answer.
quick. What do you reckon? Speeder bike or a land?
I still want speeder bike, but I'm.
Let's go speeder
how confident are you?
I usually have no idea. That's why I'm losing really
F
badly.
speeder bike.
That is incorrect. It would be the AT-AT, as you call it, as we call it, the AT-AT.
Oh, okay. Neither of us would have gotten it. That's fine. Next
All
question.
right, all right. Who
Okay.
did Luke tell, "Take care of yourself," just before the Battle of Hoth?
Leia.
Han.
Han or Han? Take care of yourself. No, he tells Han because that's when he thinks Han is leaving,
Yep. Han.
right?
Take care of yourself.
Close.
Chewie. I don't know. Crap.
It's Chewbacca. I'll give you that.
Chewie.
I'll give you that.
No.
I'll give you that. No, I'll give you that. I'll give you
Okay,
that.
okay.
That's fair.
All right.
All right. Two out of three. What planet's landmarks include the North Ridge?
What planets?
Not North Ridge, where I work. The North Ridge. What
Sounds like
planet?
Tatooine.
That's what I'm thinking.
Sounds like Tatooine.
Yeah.
All right, no, that's wrong. That's Hoth.
Oh, damn
Ah.
it.
2
Okay.
out of 4. 2 out of 4. Here we go. How many rats were seen crawling in Jabba the Hutt's dungeon window?
Oh, for God's
God.
sake! Are these womp rats? Are these 2 meters across?
Good question, but no.
Are these an African or European womp rats?
One part's native to Tatooine.
No, I know, but it didn't say womp rats. I'm just gonna throw stuff out there now.
I'm losing, so I have to
I'm
pretend
bringing a
I'm
Monty Python, apparently. How
two,
many?
Two.
That's incorrect. It's 3.
Oh.
That's
obviously.
a deep question. Seriously? Who was sitting immediately behind Luke Skywalker when Luke's land speeder entered Mos Eisley?
C-3PO.
That's correct.
Sweet.
You got 3 out of 6.
Well, that wasn't terrible.
no, not bad. Not bad.
And one of them was a sympathy
Just
vote.
above passing. It's fine.
All right,
Cool.
you're there. You're holding on. You're
Alrighty.
holding on. All right, from there we go on to Duel of the Fates. It is our weekly Star Wars debate segment. We take 2 things from the Star Wars universe, pit them together. We talk about them. We debate it here, and then you help us decide on the Facebook page, Jedi Alliance on the Shmozo Network, or on Twitter. And last week, though, we had a interesting debate. As I get up the results here on my other device.
This was
And
pretty
now
cool.
I know your passcode.
So, she's a spy. So the with Duel of the Fates, there's 2 things that battle it off against each other. Which one would you prefer? If you had to go into hiding, would you rather hide out in Obi-Wan Kenobi's Adobe
which we've kind of remarketed as a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, a little
Kenobi's
bit.
Adobe.
Well, naturally.
Kenobi's Adobe on Tatooine, or would you rather hang with Yoda in his little hut on Dagobah?
Oh, God. Those are horrible. Those are both awful.
Kind of the point of hiding, though.
Yeah, you're
it
wanted.
is. No, it is. Here's the thing. Obi-Wan.
Or you want to be like Eric Olsen, who went,
Well-
screw this, I want to go to Endor.
Yeah, well, yes, actually.
plays
I'll
by
take,
his own
I'll
rules.
take my chances with the cannibalistic teddy bears. Here's the thing. If you're going with Obi-Wan, then you got sand people to deal with.
Yeah.
But if you're going to Dagobah, I think listening to Yoda's way of talking would drive me in like homicidal after
Yeah.
a little bit. So I'll go with Obi-Wan's Adobe.
Well, that is a choice that many of the fans out there went to. Kenobi's Adobe got 71.
Yeah, 71 votes.
Yoda's Hut, 30.
So double, more than double the votes.
Literally 71%.
It's quick.
And we had a lot of people chiming in. Jake Robertson says, "Got to go Obi-Wan's place, living among the dunes, taking it to the Tusken Raiders or Sand People, whichever term suits you best. Plus, less chance of bumping your head than in Yoda's tiny hovel."
True. Rebecca said, Chateau Kenobi. You know that there is more going there than meets the eye. Some elegant comforts from a more civilized age. Yoda takes his Spartan monk routine way too seriously. Gruel you will eat. Sleep on rocks you will.
True. Very true.
I like gruel. Joe Brislade, an old high school friend of mine, actually, chimed in, said desert heat over swamp humidity. Besides, how drunk would you have to stay if your only conversation was someone who talks backwards?
Ding, ding, ding.
So Joe and Michelle on the
Completely
same
valid
page
argument. Plus, if you stay with Obi-Wan, you have the nice wretched hive of scum and villainy within reach. So there's a nightlife.
It's funny. A lot of people saying that they wanted something else to do instead of the complete solitude. But other people bring up great points. There's so many people there, and they're all trying to make a buck because they are scum and villainy, that they would totally sell you out. Another factor was the weather. Would you like the humidity, the muddiness, or the dry?
Dryness.
And according to
The
someone
hair not do well in Dagobah swamp water. It's just not. Stylist advised against it.
Did I leave it here? Someone was like, Padme says, I hate sand. It gets everywhere. So they choose.
She did not say that.
Oh.
Anakin said that.
It gets everywhere. It's coarse.
It's coarse.
It's Anakin.
Gets everywhere.
I don't.
That's his
I hate sand.
That's his hitting on her.
Oh.
Yeah, that's his
Oh,
version.
it's so angry.
Yeah.
As Padme had to listen to.
Not like here. You're soft. I don't even remember. I blocked it out.
That's exactly. I'm like, that's really fuzzy. I watched it not long ago, and I'm like, just like got the pensieve out.
It's cool. Yeah, just get rid of it all.
But why Yoda's hovel, as you've said? We've got Jordan Dane Huffman for two reasons. A, there seems to be no one around at all. Yoda could be Dagobah's only resident for all I know, which would make for a good place to hide out. And B, I bet Yoda's got a lot of cool stuff just lying around. And Matt says, Dagobah, if I'm truly hiding from something or someone, then it must be pretty serious. And Dagobah is a logical choice. Tatooine has too much open desert. You could easily be spotted. Not to mention, you might drink your demons away at the cantina and blow your cover.
Start mouthing off. I used to be a Jedi. David Silva Melendez says, Dagobah, the idea of living in an area so attuned to the Force, you're just mesmerizing. It would be a great area for reflection, meditation, and isolation. David, you're a better human than all of us.
I'll take a nap somewhere and wind up ass deep in a swamp. No thanks.
I know, with that thing. So that was last week's results all sorted. Let's bring a new idea to the table. This one's pretty cool, especially for those daredevils out there that have the need for speeder bikes. See what I did there?
Such a nerd.
That's very cute. This week,
How long were you thinking of that one?
Just came up with it.
all the drive over here.
Speeder bikes.
If I pause, speeder bikes.
Oh my god!
So what is the damn jewel of the face this week? What would you rather compete in? A pod race or speeder bike through Endor?
Hunting down those little cannibal teddy bears.
So obviously both a high speed chase.
Velocity, yes.
It's kind of like if you go to like Las Vegas or out to Fontana, you can pay good money to drive a fancy car around a racetrack like twice.
Yeah.
This is kind of if you had one chance to jump in, what would it be?
Oh, speeder bike. Hands down.
No hesitation.
Endor?
None at all.
You're not going to clean out some trees?
No, I'll be fine. Think of the maneuverability. You have the speed, hunting down cannibalistic teddy bears, all the fun in the world. Yeah.
Look at you. That's you, isn't it?
That's me. That's absolutely.
Just sitting on that bike.
Just posing, just chilling. It's all good. You can tell it's me from my snazzy boots.
Absolutely.
Yes. No,
All right.
I would absolutely go for speeder bike.
Racing it.
Because I feel like also if you go for a pod race, then it's like NASCAR. For me, I've never really held a big, just
turning
around
left.
the track. Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay, so you got that. Would you want to ride it as a biker scout or steal it as an Ewok or an Imperial or Rebel officer?
I would want to swing down from a vine and knock off whoever is riding it, take their place.
Maude G?
I am influenced by the Pod Racer 64 and I really, really enjoyed that game. It is, and that was one of the parts about Phantom Menace that I actually really enjoyed.
Yeah.
This vessel is so fast. it is, and it's really clever. Like the way that the engines sit at the front and that pulls you along. I think that this is really super cool. The thing is, you would only be able to go in a pod race once because you would die.
You don't have the human reflexes.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a Jedi. I would go so fast.
You don't have the midichlorian count.
I would just smash into.
Go, JT. Can you go back on that? I included the game. There you go. That's the game.
Hey, the racer game.
Gosh, that was my childhood right there.
That was my young adult years. Oh boy.
I know. I'm like,
Yeah, the great sound. So
Yeah,
you
the
so you go
awesome
pod
sound.
you pod race, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of pod racers to choose
I
from.
do like the customizability. Is that a word?
Yes.
That's a
Yeah.
word now.
Yeah.
Of the pod racers.
Yeah.
I do like that you can kind of change it up. It doesn't have to be just one design versus the speeder bike.
Which one would you
is-
have?
That's a tough. I would.
That's
make them
beautiful. Oh, okay.
No.
What's the Elan Malk? Is that the one I'm
know.
looking
Oh
at?
God.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's the bottom one. No,
Dud
not
bolt.
the one that
That's
looks
the
like a
best name
hermit
ever.
crab. Or the Ian Endicott.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. The EB Endicott. That's my one. Long story short, though, because that's sleek. I think if I could have a little fantasy about having being a professional pod racer and being famous and having like the fastest time on the Boonta track and no one could beat me, seems kind of cool.
So
do
you're just
that?
in it for the fame.
Fame,
Right.
the glory.
A Jedi craves not these things, but a pod racer does, and that's what you want to be. I grew up loving the Biker Scouts. That was my favorite Imperial. That's what, if cosplaying was a big thing when I grew up in '84, I would have been that for Halloween for like 6 straight years. The pod racing there's a draw to it. There's some glory attached to it. I, though, would end up being probably like Ben Quadraneros, who never got off the starting line. Something's wrong with Ben Quadraneros' power couplings. Like, that would be me. Be like, so.
See, I only want to be in the pod race so I can keep hearing that commentating all the time.
Yes.
Greg Proops, the comedian Greg Proops, did the voice for both
Did
those
he?
characters.
I love
yeah.
him ever since Who's Line.
Who's Line?
One of my
Absolutely. The
favorites.
old British version. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
the British version is
with
good.
Clive Anderson.
Oh, it's
I'm
amazing.
Clive Anderson. Good night. So I would
points
go.
don't count.
I would go with speeder bikes.
Yes.
Okay,
Even
speed
though-
bike, speeder bike, pod race.
I, as a kid, would sometimes have bad nightmares of doing that thing where you're like, ha ha, tree, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not a speed freak, so
Endor's beautiful though. What a lovely way to explore the moon.
what a lovely way to die.
Exactly.
It is a good
but
way to
have
die.
fun
Into a
ahead of
beautiful
time.
tree.
At least it's your screw up and
Yeah.
not someone trying to kill you because there's a lot of sabotage that goes on in those pod races.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no rules and Sebulbas, you know. But
Sebulba.
one thing we will say, pod racing is wizard.
Nobody says that.
No one does say that. They try to make us say it. So that's what we got for this week. Speeder bike versus pod race. What would you do? Go on the Facebook page, Jedi Alliance on the Schmoes Know Network, and on Twitter at Jedi Alliance, and of course include us at Maude Garrett, at Ken Knapsack, at Michele Boyd, and say, hey, here's what I would do. And then we'll tally
This is
up
why
next week.
you're wrong.
Yeah, and we'll read your results and comments next week.
That's it. Hey, that's
Absolutely.
exciting.
So that
Hooray.
is this week's Do of the Fates. Yeah, do it again. Do it again. Do it real loud and proud.
Oh, hello,
Come on.
I'm shy now.
Do it.
We have to all do it together.
Okay.
Roll up the sign line.
I'm just going to let her
Nice.
go.
I know,
Get so into it.
Just gonna let her, then if you wait long enough, she goes into her Tuscan Raider.
The Tuscan Raiders are getting into this race.
All right, absolutely. So
That's the only funny part of the
This is
movie, by the way.
amazing.
yeah, well, yeah, I would agree. Shall
Cool. Moving on.
we move on to Forced On?
Let's do it. Now,
Right.
Forced On is where we take one part of the Star Wars universe and force it on you. This time, speaking of funny things, because Star Wars prequels lacked that. The good news is if you do want your Star Wars humor
Depends
fix,
on your perspective.
I mean, it's funny
Yeah.
while crying,
Yeah.
I guess. We are going to talk about the Star Wars parodies that are out there. I mean, some of the ones, for example, are Spaceballs. Was it you that I watched that with the other day?
Probably.
And the
I've
pizza was there and I
seen
nearly
that.
threw up.
Yes.
Jabba the-
I've seen
Pizza
that
the Hut,
movie
yeah.
Pizza the Hut.
countless times. Yeah, one of my favorites.
I saw it in the theater. My mom took me and my friends, and my
There it
mom.
is.
Yes.
I was raised in a very conservative Christian home, so my mom thought it was like a continuation maybe of the Star Wars saga.
And
So
instead,
I sat down and was like,
Surrounded by assholes.
I'm learning a lot of things about life. We ain't found. So, Spaceballs, yeah, that's a great choice. When did you first see Spaceballs?
I think I've only seen it once. I didn't want to go anywhere near it. I didn't want it to
What?
wreck it for me.
Why is that?
Because I hold Star Wars sacred. So anyone trying to make fun of it or do a parody of it,
Right.
I remember watching it. I was like, Rick Moranis. It's like that's not what that sounds.
Dark Helmet, yeah.
He had a very bad accident, and that's why you're mocking him, and I don't love that.
It's an homage.
What is it? Dark Helmet.
Dark Helmet.
Dark Helmet, yeah.
So that was a great cosplay that I saw at New York Comic Con.
I love him.
He
comes out all the time.
Oh, that was fantastic. But as far as it, no, I got annoyed by it.
It's kind of the granddaddy of all the modern Star Wars parodies, and I say that for a reason you'll find out in a second. But it spawned so much, but it also kind of came, I always thought, a few years too late.
Yeah.
87, 88.
It died
Mel
off
Brooks
a little
is
bit.
parodying something almost 10 years old at that point.
That's true.
So as an adult, my friends and I, one time we got the VHS tape, and we're like, let's watch Spaceballs, and we put it in.
Wasn't so funny.
Yeah,
It's
it
one
changed
of
for me.
Things that I feel like gets better upon repeated viewings as you get to know it a little bit better.
you
Like
get to know it?
Monty Python is the same way for me. Like the first time I watched Holy
Love
Grail,
Python, yeah.
couldn't get into it. Second time I watched it, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
So
And I
I
still
feel
do.
like a lot of Mel Brooks is kind of that way. Same thing would happen with like Men in Tights.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
thought
like
it
Men
was
in Tights,
funny,
yeah.
but when I watched it a few more times, I loved it all the more.
You found
maybe
layers in it?
Yes. Oh yeah. It's so deep in it, really.
But I swear it was on at your house and we were watching it, and when Pizza the Hut came up, I had to kind of leave because I was going to vomit everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You
It was
couldn't
just,
do
it was
It's just
disgusting.
gross.
Oh, and the cheese was just dripping everywhere, and I was like, ugh. I mean, I get that Jabba is not the most attractive thing at all. I mean, it's kind of a slug that has like goop around its mouth. But Pizza the Hut, that was unwatchable for me.
When he starts eating himself, when the guy, the deputy
Don't
starts
do it
eating.
now. Please don't do it now.
off
No,
of
you're a little under
him.
the weather today. Don't do it. But
His tongue is
Spaceballs
the guy's chin.
definitely had some. I mean, had a classic. John Candy, Joan Rivers, Pullman hitting
Bill
the scene
Pullman.
and doing well there. So there was a lot of stuff I did love about it.
Had such a crush on him.
yeah.
Bill Pullman. Oh yeah.
So
You
what?
still can.
I do. I
Yeah.
rewatch while you were sleeping. Just watch. Just that's so cute.
Guys,
That's so
this
great.
is our Independence Day.
What do you quickly think about the Family Guy trilogy that came out? Because I know that Seth MacFarlane's a huge fan, a massive, massive fan of Star Wars. And I think I appreciated that more because he had... Mel Brooks just did it for the kicks because that was his shtick. But Family Guy, yes, it's inappropriate, but because Seth MacFarlane loves it so much and he wanted to kind of do it justice, I appreciated that more.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And I think Mel Brooks' humor and I don't get along, but Family Guy humor and I...
I'm with you on that, though I did like Men in Tights and some of the other stuff in the classic Brooks. But what I love about the Family Guy stuff, and I also throw in the Robot Chicken stuff in that they do, is they're Star Wars fans in our generation. So what they do so well is what we did on the playground as kids in conversating. Can I use that word?
Did you grow up in Kentucky?
So is the conversations we have about what did the Empire eat for lunch? What did the Emperor eat for lunch? And you got the Emperor ordering stuff. They were fans, so they're making fun of it like we did growing up, or still do.
But I think there was enough time for it to be such a classic.
Yeah.
And then have something so new, and that fusion between sort of like this brand new humor and like something going back so far, that because there was so much time in between that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
we
and
were so
everyone
hungry
got
for it.
back into it because, I mean, by this point, the first 3 movies had come, like episode 1, 2, and 3 had come out. The digitally remastered versions of 4, 5, and 6 had come out. So, like,
They'd watched it to death.
yeah, completely. So everyone it's still fresh in your mind. And you had all these little details, and you saw stuff as an adult that you maybe didn't catch as kids. And you're just like, oh. And then they would make fun of it in Family Guy and Robot Chicken so very well.
Star Wars! Star Wars! Shuffle your deck. Ooh.
All right.
All right, so you can help him out, but he usually doesn't need it. So maybe,
you're doing the questions
maybe
this
you
time.
could just sabotage.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, now I can't.
One of these
set
days,
my
there better be
strategy.
some prequel questions on here.
I'm just trying to think if we've done this one before because we're kind of getting through these cards,
We
aren't
are
we?
getting through these cards.
Alrighty, who dismissed Luke's mental powers as an old Jedi mind trick?
Who dismissed Luke's mental powers as Bib Fortuna?
Jabba the Hutt. It was Jabba. Yeah. Right there, he's right there.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
Wow.
Jumped the gun.
Because Bib Fortuna was actually under the mental powers
Yeah,
and didn't
you're right.
know it, and
Yeah,
Jabba
you're
was
right.
like,
Wow.
"You're weak-minded."
That was like a I watched a strike 3 go right past me. Game 7 of the World Series.
That was fast.
Are we starting the game yet? Boom, you're out.
Alrighty, here we go, speaking about speeder bikes. Who took out the first biker scout during the speeder bike chase? Who took out the first one?
During the chase, I'm going to say Luke Skywalker.
Michelle, did you want to add to that? Or do you want to say Luke?
No, I'll go with that.
Correct, it is Luke. What Imperial leader met his maker shortly after asking, evacuate in our moment of triumph?
No.
Governor Willis Tarkin.
Tarkin?
You're right.
Okay.
It's Tarkin.
Evacuate in our moment of triumph. Boom! Poof.
Done.
Dead.
Yeah.
The last words he ever said, really. What was Han told would freeze before he reached the first marker?
Your tauntaun will freeze before it reaches the first market.
Yep.
Then I'll see you in hell. It's an urban empire.
I don't remember that line.
What droid's blasted remains prompted Han to remark, afraid there's not much left?
What droids?
What droid's blasted remains prompted Han to remark, afraid there's not much left?
I'm going to say
3PO.
C-3PO.
The Imperial probe droid's
Oh.
remains.
I'm quitting.
Just
Quitting the show.
And who was the
Michelle.
first character Luke
God.
speaks to in Star Wars A New Hope? Who was the first character Luke speaks to?
in Star Wars: A New Hope. Beru? Wait. No, it'd be Uncle Owen. No, wait. Hold on. Because he was with Uncle Owen, but I don't know if he actually talked to Uncle Owen or if he talked to one of the Jawas. Crap.
Ken?
I'm going to say speaks to or calls out for. I'm going to...
Who is the first character Luke speaks to?
I
In
wanna
the
go
novel,
with-
it's his friends at Tashi Station.
We are not talking about the novel. We are not talking about deleted scenes. We don't get to see Tashi Station.
I'm going to go...
Answer.
I'm
I'm
going
going to go
with Uncle Owen.
Uncle Owen.
Oh, it's not true! What? Oh, no.
You should have trusted your instincts.
Wait, what?
So hold on.
Wait, what is he saying?
No,
How?
yes, no. 3 out of 6!
That
I really need
I
to get
want
6
to challenge this because I just must be misremembering.
Well.
I don't know.
Oh, well, it's another
Don't
excuse
miss-
to watch
don't.
the movies again, which is pretty cool.
Um,
So there you go.
yeah, I got to recover from that mentally. That was bad.
44
Mark
to
Ellis is on the
53.
couch judging me.
The thing is, though, we both got 3, so we're still the
That's
same
good. That's
distance.
good.
I didn't
Stay
even
with it.
close the gap remotely.
I do want to talk about one more parody.
Yes.
It is what I mentioned. I said the granddaddy of them all being Spaceballs. That's actually technically incorrect. I want to talk about Hardware Wars.
Sorry.
Huh?
Yes.
What is-
Hardware Wars.
Is this a porno?
No,
version?
it is what George Lucas, there is a Muppet in it. What George Lucas himself said is his all-time favorite Star Wars parody, released in 1978 by Ernie Fossilis, is the guy who created it.
Oh my
This,
God.
for me and my friends on the playground, was our favorite Star Wars parody. Introduced us to Fluke Starbucker, Ham Salad, Augie Bendoggy, who had the all-time favorite. Like, he got a pain in his head when the planet basketball was destroyed, and Fluke says, "What's going on? Do you feel as though 1,000 voices cried out at once?" And he goes, "No, I just got a headache." It was for us on the playground. This was the Star Wars parody. It's about 12 minutes long.
Where was it released?
It was released in front of like Young Frankenstein. There was also a comedy collection of comedy videos, movies, short films. Godzilla Meets Bambi was famously on there as well.
What?
There's a lot of stuff on there, and Hardware Wars was in there.
You're blowing my mind right now.
The tagline was, "You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kiss $3 goodbye." It also, Darth Nader, who they couldn't understand. The Death Star was a waffle maker. All this stuff, as a kid, it seemed genius. I just rewatched it this morning. Some of the stuff you can find it on YouTube. Type in Hardware Wars.
Really?
You can find some stuff on there. And what's funny is another parody, another Star Wars parody that
The Christmas special?
which was a parody, and Independence Day was the best parody of all time. No, the South Park guys, around the time of The Phantom Menace, before it hit theaters but the trailer was out, they did the Jar Jar Binks line, "You say people gonna die?" And or maybe it was before Attack the Clones or Phantom Menace, can't remember now. But they were asked, "How'd you get that?" That became an iconic line. They're like, "Oh no, we just guessed. We saw it in the trailer. We thought it was kind of stupid." Hardware Wars puts in, "I've got a bad feeling about this,"
Yeah,
And then
when
that
it
became-
wasn't a thing, and Ham Salad says it.
Of course they do. They knew.
They knew. Check out Hardware Wars if you've not had a chance to check it out. They re-released in 2005, I think, a special edition
I have never heard of that.
I've never heard of this.
That's amazing.
1978. I
feel
wouldn't
like
expect
such
a lot of
failure
people.
as a fan right now.
No, it's deep. It goes deep. And when someone on Facebook a couple weeks ago said, "Hey, do parodies," I was like, "I got
Hardware
the perfect one to share." Hardware Wars. Check
It
it
really
out.
does sound like a porn.
Totally.
And if you look at those pictures, it
I
kinda does.
mean,
It's like, well,
It kinda
somebody
does.
think of the children. But if you want to show porn on Jedi Alliance, I mean, bring the tissues.
Yeah, it's been that kind of show. That kind of show.
I have a
Sweet.
bad feeling about this.
So we're almost done here.
I got a good feeling about
We
it.
got a good feeling about this.
yes.
We're almost done here, but before we leave, we like to do what we always do here. We pay a little homage, a little tribute, a little in memory to a fallen person from the Star Wars universe. And
Thing.
this week it is Nanta the Ewok. During the darkest moment of the Battle of Endor, a blast from the cannon of one of the Imperial Army's Tempest Force ATSDs created perhaps the saddest moment in all of the Star Wars saga, the death of Nanta the Ewok. Nanta was from the Bright Tree Village and very close with Roomba, a well-respected Ewok scout. Their friendship was one for the ages, with a mutual respect and brotherly love only surpassed by their collective sense of humor. In fact, Logray, the village's medicine man, would often joke that two close friends were regular Chip-Two and Munch Munch, who were a famous Ewok comedy team.
They're action figures.
Not canon. After the Imperial invasion of the Forest Moon of Endor, it was Ramba and Nanta that helped build many of the traps and weapons the Ewoks would use against the Emperor. That is canon. It was from one of those catapults that Nanta was running when an ATSD overran the Ewok defenses and started sending a bevy of laser blasts at our furry little cannibal little heroes.
Not to know.
Ramba and Nanta were running fast as their little paws could take them, and they were almost to safety when, sadly, a laser bolt hit its target. There was an explosion. Two Ewoks fell. There was a painful wail. One Ewok stood up. It was Ramba.
so sad.
It was touched. He touched his fallen friend Nanta, signaling for him to get up and continue their escape, but Nanta didn't move. Ramba softly called out his friend's name. Nanta was dead. Rest in peace, Nanta, the fallen Ewok.
Ken, that was
You
beautiful.
served us
Got
well.
a tear.
Just crying.
It was the saddest moment
That was really sad.
all.
I think
the
I
Star
actually
Wars.
did cry when that
I
happened.
think you are about to cry. Are you okay?
It was really sweet.
When he calls out,
You got beautiful. And when he like pokes him and then went, you have to leave. And he's not getting up.
very, very sad. Nanta, you served us well. Your catapults did turn the tide.
If you'd eaten Han, you would have survived.
That's true. He would have had the stamina. would have got the iron and nutritional
If he had a
value.
leg of Han, he would have been able to run.
Oh.
So that has been a funny off the hook. Are you crying?
She's crying.
Oh my gosh!
She's crying.
You're crying.
It's just. It's because I was.
This is, of course, a woman who cried watching John Williams play live. So I would not expect anything less. We love you for your passion and your deep heart for Star Wars. This Jedi Alliance has had a lot of box of tissues. It has had Sith. It has had crying. It has had everything. It has an even trivia battle. It was a good episode, my friends. It was. I'm so glad to have you into this universe here, Michelle.
Yay.
You are a well-known Star Wars fan. Quick note: did you see the story that came up this week about the girl? Young girl who wanted to dress as Han Solo.
I did see that.
It was great. Did you read the whole story on Huffington?
I read the whole thing. It's
Yeah.
on Time as well.
Yeah.
And basically, this father, his little daughter was like, what do you want to dress up as? And she was like, Han Solo. And he's like, done, let's do it. And she's like, but am I allowed to because I'm a girl? And he was like, come here, I want to show you something. And he showed his daughter a picture of Michele Boyd dressed up as Han Solo.
Yes.
And was like, look at what you can be like. And
Yep.
not only that, she did dress up as Han Solo, but he decided to be her Leia.
Leia, because he couldn't turn around and go, well, boys can't be Leia.
Right.
So
He did
that
it.
was it.
That
She's an awesome Han Solo.
Is good
The
parenting.
pictures are fantastic.
Yeah, so
great.
congratulations
Well done,
on
Dad.
inspiring a
Well
new
done.
Yeah.
generation of young Star Wars cosplayers.
Makes me so happy.
Yeah, good job, you. And we're going to have you back at some point, I'm sure, to talk about tissues around the bedside with Maude.
Where can people find you?
MichelleBoyd.com, Michele Boyd on Twitter, Michele Boyd on Facebook, wherever else.
I'm seeing a theme. Instagram?
Oh yeah, Instagram, wherever.
You're on that too.
Yeah, various feet sites at this point. I don't know.
Sweet as.
Yeah.
Geek Bomb, if you want to check out all of my stuff, if you see Geek Bomb commenting on YouTube, that's me. And Ken, you are at Knapsack.
At Knapsack. And don't forget to follow our Jedi Alliance Twitter feed at Jedi Alliance. Also on Instagram at Jedi Alliance. We also have the fan page Jedi Alliance Fans. And on YouTube, go to youtube.com/Schmoes No Podcast to get us and the entire Schmoes No Network Marvel news from Marvel fans. This week they're going to have a lot to say about Age of Ultron and Cumberbatch joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe and so much more. So check it all out there. I'm Ken Knapsack for...
Oh, what? Oh, the Jedi Alliance, because many Boltons died to bring us some information. Smooth forward.
Still crying over Nanta.
For producers Christian Harloff, Mark Ellis, and the entire Schmoes No Network crew, we would like to thank you for listening to the Jedi Alliance on the Schmoes No Network. Special thanks to Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos, the author of Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, in stores now. To watch or listen to other Schmoes No Network episodes, get movie news, and join the conversation, be sure to visit schmoesno.com and find the Jedi Alliance on iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review. I'm the Pit Boss, and this has been a presentation of Schmoes No